Hello, my pretties. Orgasmicpathways.com is my website. All my content makes it there eventually. So I'm going to talk about tooth remineralization, healthy teeth and gums. I just had my first teeth cleaning today for the first time in well over 15 years. I don't know how long it's been exactly, but I know it's been greater than 15 years. And I was told to pat myself in the back, celebrate life today because my teeth and gums and oral health is just impressively good. To which I personally attribute that to, among other things, I haven't used any fluoride products in probably the last 10 years at least. And my dentist, love my dentist, mad respect for my dentist, though was very encouraging me to re-add fluoride to my oral care. She was open to me not and accepting of me not wanting to do that. And I said I would as a last resort if nothing else was working, but this seems to be working out pretty well for me. So that's the trajectory that I'm on. So having said all of that, before I get started, I want to say this is not to undermine your dentist or your healthcare professional or whatever that's working for you. So I'm not advising anybody to stop using fluoride. That's a decision you have to make on your own. Maybe do it with your dentist. But I want to make sure my ass is covered. I don't want someone to stop using fluoride and then I get sued. You never know. So I'm just sharing as a layperson what has worked for me, and take with it as you will. All right, so first and foremost, the first thing that I learned years ago when I gave up fluoride is that xylitol seems to be a healthy alternative to fluoride. So xylitol is it's a natural sweetener kind of thing, and it also fortifies tooth enamel. The main reason dentists, the ADA, wants us to use fluoride and they're insistent on it is because it strengthens tooth enamel. And that's obviously extremely important. When the tooth enamel is weak, that's when you start to get cavities and you run into other problems. It's very painful, tooth sensitivities, you name it. So I don't like to use fluoride because no matter what, some of that is going to be absorbed into your bloodstream. That layer of skin that's right beneath your tongue, for example, that is the thinnest layer of skin over your entire body. Anything that makes contact with it, that's going to go through that skin and absorb directly into your bloodstream. In fact, there's some medications that you take that way. I forget what category that's called. There's a name for it, but there's some medications you put it right under your tongue and you just suck on it and it goes right into your bloodstream for that reason. Same thing with tobacco products. You'll see people chewing on it. They suck on it right there, develop cancer later. It's because it goes right into the bloodstream. So when you're rinsing your mouth out with fluoride, obviously that's going to go right into your bloodstream, and that causes health issues. It has neurological effects over the brain. It makes a person more likely to be subservient to authority without questioning authority. And that's not to get conspiratorial, but it's true. It makes a person more relaxed around authority and more trusting without questioning, and also other neurological problems beyond that. So that's why I decided 10 years ago to stop using fluoride, but I needed to, find an alternative. So once I did, that's actually when I stopped using fluoride, because I didn't want to just stop and weaken my teeth. So I found xylitol, and I started using more natural-based mouthwash and toothpaste that was fluoride-free, that included xylitol, and other common things would be like tea tree oil is another one. But xylitol mainly was like the first thing that I found that could be a healthy alternative to fluoride. So I started using products with xylitol in it. And that's becoming more common to find, which is really fantastic news. Okay, so I'm going to give this full context here. So fast forward from 10 years ago to a couple weeks ago or so, I started actually having sensitivities in my teeth, specifically up here. Now this one here, I had a root canal done 15 plus years ago. So I thought maybe there was something going on with that. I didn't know. But when the sensitivity started, I called and made a dentist appointment right away. First I had to find a dentist because I haven't had one in 15 years at least. And so that was easy. I just went to the one that my mom was using when she was alive because she was really happy with them. And I remember taking her there, and the people there were very friendly. It seemed like a really good environment. So I decided to just go there. Also in memory of my mom, who I miss very much. And I'm happy that I did it now, having been there twice, once for the initial appointment to get x-rays done and this and that, and the second time to go back a week later for my first tooth cleaning. So I have a new dentist. They're great, even though they're encouraged me to use fluoride. I still love them, and I think they're great. I'm just not going to use fluoride unless I have to, but I don't think I do. So anyway, with that sensitivity, I made the appointment, and the appointment I made was several weeks ago. So that was a couple weeks out. I couldn't get in for like at least 2 weeks from the time that I made that appointment. In the meantime, I had this sensitivity develop in my mouth, mostly over here. And it had gotten so bad so quickly that I couldn't even smile like this. I remember going to a beer garden here in town. It was outside. It was a little chilly, not too bad, but just a little. But the air was just cold enough to where if I would smile, I would feel the cold air hit that tooth and it would hurt. It was a very sharp pain. Then I had to close my mouth and warm it back up, and the pain would linger for like 20 seconds, sort of like how when you stub your toe, it's like suddenly it's a sharp pain, and maybe 20 seconds later it goes away and it feels good again. It was the same kind of thing. Very frustrating because you want to be able to smile and talk, right? But I couldn't. It was really bizarre and also worrisome. I was like, oh my God, what's going on with my mouth here? I can't wait a couple weeks for this appointment. So I went on YouTube and I started, and Google, and started looking around for some home remedies and various keyword searches, like, what keyword searches did I do? I figured it was maybe my enamel, maybe I need to start using fluoride, you know, stuff like that. So I started looking at different ways to remineralize teeth and strengthen tooth enamel, make tooth pain go away, all kinds of all that kind of stuff. And so some of the things that I found were extremely helpful that I'll share with you right now. So you might want to jot down some notes here if you're interested in this, but jot down clove oil. I went out and I bought some clove oil from Young Living, or a place here in town called Modern Apothecary. And so they resell some of that stuff. I didn't go to a distributor. I just went here in town because I didn't want to wait. And I was able to buy some at a brick and mortar place. So clove oil. And just on contact, and that's about 500 times the potency of like regular cloves, so you want to be really careful with it. And if you use it, you may actually want to dilute it with some coconut oil, because it is strong, man. Like, it burns, but I have a kind of a tolerance for that, so it didn't bother me too much. But even still, I had to be careful. I would just put like a little one drop on my finger and put it there where the pain was, and that would soothe it instantly. That was amazing. So completely natural thing to soothe it, but that wasn't a fix. It was just something to soothe it. It's also a disinfectant, so it has some other health benefits too. But because it's not a pharmacological agent, there's no unhealthy side effects. Like fluoride has an unhealthy side effect, which is why I decided to stop using it 10 years ago and use Xylitol instead. So that was one key ingredient that I found, was the clove essential oil, and I picked that up by Young Living. I'm sure doTERRA would be just fine, and there's some others that would be just fine too. Also mixing it with the coconut oil is great to dilute it. Also the health benefits of the coconut oil too, with oil pulling and things like that. And also you can put a drop of, say, peppermint oil in there too, and tea tree oil. Which brings me to the second thing that I found, the second discovery. So the second discovery was a really good mouthwash that I found, a do-it-yourself kind of thing. It was only a few ingredients. So it was about a half a cup. I got a little mason jar, just like an 8-ounce thing of mason jar, and I would fill maybe less than half of it with a half a cup of water, like 4 drops or so of tea tree oil, 4 drops or so of peppermint oil, and maybe a tablespoon or a little over a tablespoon of baking soda. Everyone's got that in the refrigerator, right? And then I would just mix it all up, and I don't know, I'd probably rinse out with half a tablespoon at a time, maybe up to a tablespoon, and that would last me a few days, and I would rinse my mouth out several times a day with it. And that made my mouth feel actually really good. Between those 2 different essential oils and the baking soda, all of that is designed to whiten, to disinfect, designed by nature to do these things, by the way, not a chemistry lab, but to whiten, to disinfect, to relieve sensitivities, and even a little bit of tooth enamel fortification, specifically with the baking powder part of it. And it also leaves your mouth feeling really fresh too, and fights bad breath, all those kinds of things, gingivitis, and it's just those few ingredients. So that is my mouthwash now that I really like. And if I want to, I guess I could add some xylitol in there too, but I haven't so far. But I'll get to that next. So the next thing that I discovered was these do-it-yourself pastes. Like, they could be toothpaste, you could brush with them, but I actually got mouth trays. I custom fit them by boiling it in water and then fitting it in my teeth. Much better that way. First time I used it, I didn't do that. It was not very comfortable, but once I did that customization part, it was actually a lot better. So I found a paste online, several of them, but the best one that I found is a paste by a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Melissa. What is her last name? I don't see it on this sheet. But anyway, her website is naturalhealthresources.com. Naturalhealthresources.com. So plugging her there. I discovered her first on YouTube. Oh, here's her name. Dr. Melissa Gallagher, ND, CLT. See if that shows up in this thing. It's reversing it. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so Dr. Melissa Gallagher, ND. But her website, again, you can find her very easily. naturalhealthresources.com. And she's got a YouTube channel. That's where I discovered her first, was on YouTube. So she has this do-it-yourself paste you can make. I had to buy most of these ingredients on Amazon because I can't find them anywhere else. Otherwise, I'd rather go to the store. A couple of these I had in my house, but after that, it's like I'll just get the rest from Amazon instead of just going here and there. I just get it one clean thing. But on her YouTube video, she made it extremely helpful. In the description area, she had a link to each and every one of these products, just so that you can have peace of mind knowing that you're getting the exact right things, these ingredients sourced the right way, all that kind of stuff. So that was huge. That was really smart on her part. Also, I could see she's an affiliate of Amazon too, so as a businesswoman that she is, it was also smart on her part for that reason too. So the ingredients that are in it, you can ask me for the link if you want, or maybe I'll just post it in the description of this video. If you don't see it, just ask me for it and I'll send it to you so that you can see it. And I'll just run through the ingredients real quick. Raw calcium, diatomaceous earth, baking soda, bentonite clay, organic silica, xylitol, there's that xylitol stuff, aloe vera gel, liquid ionic minerals, colloidal silver, neem tooth oil, and organic coconut oil. Some of these ingredients I'd never heard of before, so I started researching them individually on their own. And it's pretty cool stuff. It's all just very mineral intense, and also the coupling of some of these ingredients, there's binding effects, like for example the diatomaceous earth powder. That's fossilized phytoplankton. It's good for supporting a healthy skeletal system as well as your teeth, building strong tooth enamel, also really good for gut health, all kinds of things. And it's also a binding agent for the other ingredients like the silica, for example, so that it puts those minerals to work to remineralize the teeth. And if there's any microscopic holes, like cavities or minor cavities, probably not the deep cavities, all the research I've done, including from the naturopathic doctors, say that if the cavity is deep enough, you need to see a dentist no matter what. You can't remineralize that and fill that in. But the ones that are small enough, you can. And so there's good news there, and bad news, I guess, depending on which end of that fence you happen to fall on. But between all of these different ingredients, there's anti-inflammation, there's enamel strengthening, there's microscopic gap filling or hole filling, cavity filling if it's microscopic enough. What else? Healthy teeth and gums, healthy gut health. Now, I don't ingest this, but if you were to swallow a little, it's no big deal. In fact, from all the research that I've done, if you were to swallow just a little bit of it, probably help you with your gut health and so on. But I did spit it out. I'm sure I swallowed microscopic parts of it. Also, that layer of skin underneath your tongue is so thin, whatever it makes contact with that is going to be absorbed into the bloodstream. So I'm sure I got some in my bloodstream from that. So it's a good thing that I found this, because it's all natural, healthy ingredients versus chemical stuff that might do one thing that's good for you, but has bad side effects from another thing once it gets absorbed into the bloodstream, which it's eminently going to do when you put it in your mouth. So that's for me anyway, it's a big rationale as to why I want to focus on natural, healthy ingredients and stay away from the pharmacological agents if I don't need them and I don't feel like I need those pharmacological agents. So all those ingredients, you basically just mix it together in a mixing bowl, takes a minute or two. And then I would put it in these dental trays, upper and bottom, and I'd bite down, and I would keep it in my mouth anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. Some days I would do up to an hour or more. And so I started doing that October 1st. It's October 14th now. So I've done it for 13 days, haven't done it yet today, at least once every day. Also with that mouthwash, the mouthwash that I told you about earlier, I would do a couple times or so a day. Like after every time I ate food, I would actually rinse out with that. So I guess that would be like a half dozen times a day I use the mouthwash. But I went from that very sensitive place I was telling you about to where I couldn't even smile without feeling the air hitting my teeth and that sensitivity. That's pretty harsh, right? I went from that to, I was about 5 days in. So from October 1st to October 5th, it started to go away. I could smile again, and I could talk. I could be in cold air and inhale. It's like, okay, this is better. Like I could still feel the underlying issue, but that sensitivity was all but gone. It was fantastic. So that was a huge relief, and I have not had my initial appointment yet with the dentist. So another couple days go by. It was October 7th I had the initial appointment, and I explained everything what was going on to my dentist, my new dentist. And she's like, well, keep doing what you're doing if it's working. So I shared the ingredients list with her, this one that I just held up. And on her own volition, she's like, let me take a picture of this. I'm going to research each of these ingredients and I'll get back to you. I'm like, fantastic, that's awesome. So that was my first impression of this dentist and how I knew, yeah, this is my dentist. This is great. And so today was my next visit, also the initial tooth cleaning visit 1 week later, and she met with me with the ingredients list that she took a picture of, and she went over all of them with me, and she's like, yeah, I don't see any problems here. All the research I've done, it's going to deal with inflammation, it's going to deal with tooth enamel, it's going to deal with remineralizing and also gum health and so on and so forth. And she said, my only concern, and it's a big concern, is there's no fluoride in it. And I'm like, yeah, I had a feeling you would say that. And she's like, but if this is working for you, keep doing it. But she still encouraged me to want to put fluoride in. I'm like, you know, if I was having problems or if I wasn't getting any better, I would, as a last resort kind of thing. But I feel like I've made such drastic improvements. My teeth were so sensitive before I couldn't even smile without that sharp pain. And now I can smile and I can get my teeth cleaned. And, you know, they can scrape my teeth, and they can pop, they can do the air thing that blows on it, the water thing that shoots on it. All that was like, wow, this feels good. So that's a drastic improvement. So for that reason, doctor, respectfully, I don't feel the need for fluoride. I'm just going to keep mineralizing and remineralizing with what I'm doing without the fluoride. And also the fact that the dentist told me that my mouth was impressively clean and healthy, especially considering I hadn't had that done in over 15 years. And the last 10 of those years is literally without any fluoride products at all. So it's like, yeah, this is a reason for me to not reintroduce fluoride back into my oral products. I've achieved oral mastery without fluoride, oral precision, fluoride free. So I'm gonna keep going that direction. And she was totally cool with it. She still encouraged the fluoride, but she was cool with me not using fluoride too. And the fact that on her own volition, she's like, let me take a picture of this list of non-medical stuff, non-pharmacological stuff, and I'll get back to you. I'll do my own research and I'll get back to you. And she did. That was impressive. So this is the dentist for me, for sure. She was great. And the dental office is Aiello Family Dentistry in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They are my dentist now, for sure. So that is about it. I will conclude this video with, I will add a link in the description of this video to this particular YouTube channel where I got this paste from. And you can watch Dr. Melissa Gallagher, ND, talk about it, go over the ingredients, and you'll also get a list of the ingredients there, as well as links for each individual ingredient so that you can have the confidence that you're getting the right stuff that was sourced the right way. The sourcing is very important, especially with these natural products, okay? So yeah, I believe from my own experience, and not to undermine your healthcare professional, there's ways to mineralize and remineralize the teeth without fluoride and the harmful health effects that fluoride offers. You can keep it all natural. You just have to be your own advocate, learn about it, because it does go against the grain of the American Dental Association and the medical community in general. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So be safe, do your own due diligence, your own research. Now I'm going to read the comments. What is this you're talking about using? I won't let my kids use fluoride either, and they always tell me to use fluoride. Yeah, so I need the list. I have very sensitive teeth with crowns, and all that they are so sensitive. Yes, absolutely, Heidi. I'm going to include that in the description, and if you don't see it, just contact me. I'll make sure you have this list. I love that where I live, they don't fluoride the water. Yeah, that is really cool. It's very, very cool. Oh, by the way, when it comes to water, if you really want to go out of your way to do it correctly, get distilled water, gallons of it, and you remineralize the water by adding a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt per 1 gallon of distilled water. So the distilling process basically kills the water along with any chemicals or fluoride, whatever that might be in it. But it also doesn't have any of the trace minerals it's supposed to at that point because it's dead. So to remineralize the water, that's where the 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt comes into play per 1 gallon of distilled water. I also shared that with my dentist because she was asking if I drink tap water or bottled water. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That was pretty cool. Let's see what else. Are there any other comments? Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Wendy. And that's it. Just see people chiming in and chiming out. Cool. Any other comments before I close this out for now? Does it make it taste salty? No. No, you don't taste it at all. It just tastes like good water, I mean, it's such a small amount, a 1/4 teaspoon per 1 gallon. No, it doesn't taste salty at all. Not in the slightest. If you were to split them up, like have a glass with and another glass without, you wouldn't even notice the difference. You are real. Researching all you do due to politics and health. I give you many props. I've never been a cheerleader, but I raw you. Thanks. Well, you're a cheerleader right now. I appreciate you. That's pretty awesome. I'd like to be the living example of it. Oh, okay, cool. I drink distilled water. Okay, cool. Yeah, remineralize it with the pink Himalayan salt. And the reason why pink Himalayan salt specifically is because that salt has 80-something trace minerals in it. I'm not aware of a better salt that has more trace minerals. It's pretty good stuff. Not even sea salt. I think Celtic salt might be up there, but the pink Himalayan sea salt is where it's at. So yeah, I like to be the example so that it just comes with credibility. Like if you want to try this stuff, be safe, do your due diligence, talk to your dentist too, your healthcare professionals. And so I'm just a lay person who likes to learn and share and come with the credibility of having done that. Fluoride free for 10 years. Oh, and by the way, that sensitivity that creeped up, that was very temporary until I basically cured myself of it. Healed myself is probably a better word, because we're not truly cured of anything. Anything can come back if we don't take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves on a daily basis. Otherwise, anything can come back. So in that context, I don't really believe cures exist. But we can heal ourselves and live a daily lifestyle that heals on a daily basis. But to be able to do that, I think is pretty awesome and very threatening against profits for certain drug companies who are prioritizing profit over people. Well, people over profit, man. If you can get away with using the earth in a way that's smart, intelligent, healthy, cooperative with nature, then I say do it. And, if there's a time where you need a pharmacological solution, do it. That stuff literally saves people's lives, but at the same time, it's also heavily overused and misused in our society. That's for damn sure. I think everybody can agree on that, even medical doctors. The only people that wouldn't agree with that would be the owners of drug companies, because they're criminals and they should be in jail for the rest of their lives. That's it. So I think I'm going to end this video now. That's the only salt I use. Cool. Love you. Glad you smiled. Yay. Have a great day. You have a great day too. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. Going to a wedding this weekend. Not mine. Ladies, I'm still single. It's not my wedding, I promise. I'm sure I'll still be single after the wedding too. And then I'm going on a cruise to Mexico a few days after I get back. So that'll be fun. I agree with you about them being in jail. Yeah, no kidding. Oh man. It's amazing how many deaths of people they are responsible for. I mean, at this time, it's got to be over 100 million collectively after all these years, at least. A great time. Oh my God. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Bye for now, everybody. I'm sure there's going to be another guitar live feed video coming soon because it's a lot of fun. Oh, look, they're just staring at me. See them? Whoops. Go on this side. Yeah, right there. Aren't they beautiful? Especially that sexy beast right there. Oh my God. Look, and there's her twin. Identical, just a different color. All right. Especially after the vaccine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stay off that topic. I don't even have clarity on how I feel about the vaccine. I really don't, which is why you don't see me talking about it. I don't know where I stand on it. But I'm certainly not going to give anybody a hard time if they vaccine or don't vaccinate, whatever. All right, take care, everybody. Mwah.